everyone, my name is Rage, and welcome to my best games of 2012. Now, I realise it's the 5th of January now, and I am very, very fashionably late, but the reason is I deliberated for a while over making this video, because I didn't want to make it for the sake of making it, because I think it's a very cliche and generic type of video to make, but then I also do understand how they are enjoyable and, you know, why people would want to know that someone whose videos they follow, they would want to know what they found the best over the year's worth of videos that they have watched, which is why I'm going to do it, but I'm not going to do it in the 10, 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 fashion, because I don't think that's a very good way at all of doing a video like this, because it's not, in my opinion, a valid thing to do to arbitrarily say that one game is better than another if you enjoyed them both. For example, let's say you really loved playing a multiplayer shooter. You also really loved playing a single-player RPG. How can you quantifiably say that one is better than the other? You play them from entirely different reasons and you get entirely different experiences out of them. You have a lot of fun in both. How can you decide which one is a better game? I mean, the only real quantifier left is just how much fun you had. But you can't measure how much fun you had. You can get a feeling for it. But I just... You see where I'm getting at? I don't think it's fair to just do a straight-up 10-to-1 list saying every game is better than the ones before it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through it in a tiered system. There's 4 tiers, boom, tier 4, 3, 2, 1, as you might imagine, and in each tier I'm going to put quite a few games. Basically everything that I played this year which deserves a place in a tier list. There are quite a few games I've played that aren't here, but everything that I can remember having played and, you know, at least had some, out of is going to be represented here. Tier 1 is, oh my god, this is just, basically. Tier 2 is, damn, pretty good. Tier 3 is, and then Tier 4 is, meh. So yes, that's how it's going to be. Tier 4 is there just for the funsies, I'll be honest with you. So I'm going to go into each tier, starting with 4, tell you all the games that I have put in the Tier 4 category. Once you've seen them all, I'm going to try and arrange them in a best to worst order. Now, you don't need to put any weight behind that, I'm just doing it for the fun of it. I'm imagining like someone's holding a gun to my head going, order these games, damn it! A very, very specific type of psychopath, and I'm going to try and put them in my order of enjoyment, and I'm going to do that by imagining that I could only ever pick one of the games in the list to play, the rest of them I could never play again, and ordering it from that to the worst, to the least one I would pick in that situation. But anyway, without further ado, I hope you understand the kind of system I'm going to use here. Let us begin with Tier 4, and the first game in Tier 4, which is... surprise! Okay, here we have the first in Tier 4. Now, you may be thinking, what the hell? Ray just put a Half-Life game in not the best ever? Well, basically, okay, you know, I've got to evaluate it on the fact that it basically is just Half-Life. By the way, live commentating list choices, as in I'm like, boom, playing as in not over the top of footage, like a boss, just saying, oh yeah. Okay, so yes, Half-Life Sauce, Half-Life Stars, Black Mesa is even what I'm going for. The reason being is it's exactly Half-Life with shinier graphics, and while it's amazing, it doesn't really give me the Half-Life feeling. It's just a nice, you know, it's basically a way of exploring the architecture of Black Mesa with it actually looking good. So there's no real, like, there's no... That was a nice little... I've not seen that before. There's no real magic there that there was in the original Half-Life. So that's why it's all the way down in Tier 4. Don't get me wrong, it's definitely worth playing, but I would actually tell someone to play original Half-Life before playing this if they'd never played a Half-Life game. So there you have it. By the way, I'm not going to spend like 10 minutes a list item justifying it, because, you know, I've spent ages in, you know, hours thinking about this list. Way more time than I care to admit, actually. So, you know, I consider them justified before I even explain it, basically. Now, a few of them I have more to say, but, you know, Black Mesa is not one that I have a really lot to speak of. That's just my instinct gut. Let me just kill this fucking year. Yeah, no one messes with me. No one! Absolutely fucking... No, not this guy doesn't mess with me. Moving on to the next game. Okay, I will admit that for this one, the Diablo 3 footage in the background is from an episode that I did. Now, the reason being is I can't find Diablo 3 on my computer, so I can't go in and record any new stuff, which is a little bit worrying, but all the same, not that worrying, because I have no intention of playing Diablo 3 again. Diablo 3 is here because after all the hype and everyone telling me, oh, get it, it's gonna be amazing, and we got it, and we played through it, and yeah, it was fun. It wasn't mind-blowing, it was okay, but at the end of the day, we got to level 30, finished the first game, and we were like, wait, we have to do this 3 more times, and then start grinding gear. For what purpose? So we're better at grinding gear, because still there's no PvP added. So it was a massive disappointment, was Diablo 3, and that's coming from someone who's not played any Diablo, so I cannot imagine the disappointment it was to Diablo 2 and 1 players. And then finally, error fucking 37. So yes, that's why Diablo 3 is here. Next game. Next up, we have Blacklight Retribution. Now, again, this is footage from the Rage perspective. Now, I did want to do some live on this to do the list. That was a grace. I did want to do some live on this. But basically, apart from there being hella patches to do, just in order to get 2 minutes of footage of me talking, I thought a minute, hang on, doing a live, fast, action-paced shooter while trying to explain my opinions on it may be slightly counterproductive. So basically, Blacklight Retribution is here because, in my opinion, it's the best shooter that I've played. Well, probably tied best shooter that I've played this year, and it's free, and I really enjoyed it. It's just fast, high action. It's just satisfying. I can't really explain why I like Blacklight, because honestly, shooters are my least favourite genre, most probably. I really don't like shooters that much. It takes a very special shooter to get me to play it, like, a lot. And yeah, well, I'm talking about multiplayer shooters, actually. Single-player shooters I like a lot more. But yeah, But Blacklight Retribution really did actually stick with me, and I wanted to play it long after everyone else got bored of it. And I did enjoy it, and it's hard to explain why it really is. I don't know, I shouldn't like a game like that, but it was really, really good fun. So that is why it is here. Satisfying explanation, or what? Okay, final game in Tier 4. Okay, here we have the last game in Tier 4, PlanetSide 2. Basically, the reason this is in Tier 4 is because, as I said with Blacklight Retribution, I just really, really don't enjoy shooters. But if I did, this game would be amazing. I can objectively see why this game is loved by so many and why it is fantastic. I have played this a lot, like a real lot. Nowhere near as much as people like Hollow and Jake, but it is very, very good fun. When you're in a group of your friends, about 5 of you, going round between bases, taking them, and it is a really good laugh, and I really did enjoy that. It's just, generally, because it's a shooter, I just couldn't get into it as much as they did. I can't really explain why. I just didn't feel it with the game. It was just, and I went off it very quickly. But I can see why it is so good. I mean, it's a massive, massive scale battle. God, Vanny, we're doing alright. How are we doing on Indar? Not bad. How are we doing on... oh, well, Terrans, fuck you! Everyone who plays Terrans and NC, by the way, go to hell! Vanu sovereignty is the way forward, and you all know it. Damn fucking straight. But yes, it really is epic. It is the closest to being in an actual all-out war that you could ever hope to feel in a shooter, and that feeling really is awesome. I just couldn't quite get completely into it, and I don't really know why, but that is why it is in Tier 4. Alright guys, so that is my Tier 4 games done. We will move on to ordering them in my best to worst. Yes, indeed. Okay, so you've seen all there's only 4 games in Tier 4, it's the second smallest category, so I'm going to order them now in the best to worst in my opinion. Basically, how you should think of the tier list is everything in Tier 1 is better than everything in Tier 2, everything in Tier 2 is better, and so on and so forth, and then within the tiers I'm going to order them. But the worst game in a tier is still better than the best game in the tier below it, if that makes sense. So, Tier 4. This one is actually the easiest one for me to order out of all of them. It goes the following. In number, basically, as I said, I'm imagining someone's going, choose one, you can only ever play that one, the others you can never play, and then choose 2, you can only play those 2, the other 2 you can't play, so on and so forth. So, the best out of these 4, I would say, goes to PlanetSide 2. I would have to say, generally got the most fun out of that because of playing it with everyone. Definitely PlanetSide 2. Followed by... Blacklight Retribution, I'd say, actually. Yes, definitely Blacklight Retribution. Again, playing with everyone, it's just really good fun. You jump in, have an awesome, like, 20-minute game, pwn some noobs, I can't believe I just said that, and there you go, you are done. Definitely second best, followed by Diablo 3, because, you know, it was fun. The first playthrough was really good fun. We did enjoy it, but the fact that it's just grinding. It is a game that is entirely grinding once you've done the story once. So it's free. And fourth, obviously, the only one left, Black Mesa, because of really the reasons that I highlighted in the Black Mesa clip. I am so good at explaining things, aren't I? It's just fantastic. I don't know why I waste my breath. I should just be like, here it is. This is my best. There you go. I'm not going to explain anything, but I'm trying, damn it. I'm trying. So yes, Planet Side 2, Black Clover Retribution, Diablo 3, and then Black Mesa. Okay, now we're going to get into, you know, the start of the big boys now, the games that I actually really did enjoy, instead of the tier 4 list that I just felt like I had to mention, but, you know, wasn't really that into. So let's move on with tier 3. The first game in tier 3 is... Okay, here we have the first game, Orcs Must Die 2. What can I say about this game? The amount of fun, the just pure, good, awesome fun I had playing this game, it's amazing. It really is. I loved every second I spent playing this game. In fact, I put about maybe 50-60 hours into it, just trying to beat the leaderboards, trying to beat my friends who were also on the leaderboards, and it's just... that is literally the best way to describe this game. It is just fun. It is so much fun, and that's all I have to say about it. That's all you need to know. It's... tower defense, the traps, the shooting the orcs yourself, the emphasis on getting the highest score possible, trying to beat everyone. Just the whole experience was so much fun. I mean, I only played it for about a week, but during that week I must have spent nearly every hour of every day just constantly on Orcs Must Die 2, loving every second of it. The campaign was great, the multiplayer was great, the little bit that I did with Hollow, the whole thing was just great, it really is. And if you haven't played Orcs Must Die 2, I really would heartily recommend it, because, as I said, it's fun. Just good fun. It's rare these days that a game is just quite simply defined by it being really good fun. So yes, Orcs Must Die, the first game into tier 3. The second game into tier 3 is going to be, after I just make these orcs my bitches, because orc bitches are oh, that was dumb. That was very, very dumb. Okay, the next... I don't even know why I did that. I was like, yeah, I'm going to jump after it and then float back onto the railings because you can control yourself in midair in this game. And then I was like, hang on a minute. See, look, you can do it. That's what I was trying to do, where you jump out and then you jump back in. Like that. But it didn't really. Anyway, rapidly moving on. The next game in tier 3... I'm normally much better at this game, by the way. The next game in tier 3 is the following. Okay, Borderlands 2 it is. I love this game. You know, it's weird, and it's also partly the reason why it's in tier 3. I hated with a... Look at that gun. I love that gun. By the way, guys, before I go into this, how do I get to my character? God, it's been a while. Purple, 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 purple. You know, just decked out in purples. Don't even worry about this. I just got it covered, basically. But yes, I hated with a passion Borderlands 1. I couldn't stand playing it. It just did not interest me in the slightest, so I didn't think for a second I'd like Borderlands 2. I was convinced to buy it by Jake, and we did through the entire campaign in co-op, and I found myself actually really enjoying every moment of it. It was just great, awesome, fun, and it's... Again, it is a lot like Orcs Must Die. It's just really silly fun. The storyline was so much better than the first one. I really did enjoy the story. It's funny, and at times it's actually like, oh. And spoiler FYI, when Bloodwing died, I was not. Let's just say I was not a happy rage face. Mordecai was by far my favourite character in the first one, and when they killed Bloodwing just so mercilessly, they did a good job of making you hate Handsome Jack. Let's just say that. I'm rhyming, and I don't wear a hat. That was terrible. But yes, and Zero, by the way. Oh, Zero. I'm the middle tree Zero, in case you're wondering. I'm level 39. And then this is the main reason why it's on tier 3 and not tier 2. Remember my complaint with Diablo, how you complete the game once, it's really good fun and awesome, and then the game goes, now do it a load more times! Well, that's basically what Borderlands 2 does. Did I file a quest? Cool. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm just casually accidentally doing a quest here. Okay, fantastic. But yes, Borderlands 2 does it as well. You get to max level, well, you complete the game once and it's like, now complete the game again to get to max level. It's like, no. Why would I do that? I just wanted to enjoy the game once with the people I was playing it with. I don't want to grind the fucking thing. So that is why it's here. But yes, I would recommend playing Borderlands 2. I did love it a lot, and I really didn't expect to. And that is why it is needing a mention. Oh yes. Okay, moving on to the next game. in Tier 3. Finally, we have Risen 2. Now, it may come as shock of you who know my favouriteest game of all time, which is Gothic 3, forever will be, unless they make an actual Gothic 4 Arcania, you piece of shit. But basically, Risen 2. Now, every single Piranha Bytes game I have loved to death. Gothic 1, 2, and 3, Risen 1 and 2. They have made truly the best RPGs of all time as far as I'm concerned. Every single one of their games is better than anything Bethesda have ever made, and I don't care making a sweeping statement like that, because it just is. People who have not played these games do not know the experiences that they are missing out on. It's just phenomenal, and you really have to get into them. The more you give to a Piranha Bytes RPG, the more it gives back. You just get so immersed, and it's just fantastic. It feels real, the world, and it's just within context, obviously, and it's just great. I don't really know what to do in this little bit of gameplay here, because, you know, I don't have much time, but yes, it's fantastic, it really is. And Risen 2, I have to say, unfortunately, is the weakest of the 5. I really did like the pirate theme. My main gripe with this game is that it was too short. Normally you can easily spend over 100 hours in a Piranha Bytes RPG. I did with all the others, but this one I did, and I literally did everything. Don't even think I didn't, because I wanted this game to last as long as possible. But I only managed to get 30 hours out of it, which is very, very disappointing. So that is why it sinks to Tier 3. Had this game been longer, it would have definitely been in Tier 2. But only Gothic out of the 5 would ever be a Tier 1 type of game. Now, excuse me while I kill this guy! Oh, he's quite good at sword fighting. That was very awkward, wasn't it? I didn't realise I had no health. But yes, it just... Oh, I love Risen RPGs. I could go on about Piranha Bytes RPGs all fucking day. In the face! Run! Got my magic, got my things, and that's a torch. Do not need a torch. Oh, yeah, there it is. Anyway, Risen 2, ladies and gentlemen. Right then, it's time to order Tier 3. And next up, we have XCOM Enemy Unknown. I was absolutely blindsided by this game. I just completely was. I did not expect to like it. In fact, I didn't even know about it until after it was released. Someone just mentioned it to me. I looked at it. I was really bored. I was like, I guess I'll try it, because I do like a good strategy game, and my god was I blown away. This game is fantastic. It really, really is. It is difficult. I am playing on the second hardest difficulty, and I was struggling. How you would play it on the 2 difficulties above what I'm playing on it, I have no idea. But my god, I loved every second of this game. I must have spent every hour of nearly every day from buying it, just playing and completing this and trying to do it perfectly. I started again about 14 times because I kept failing. It was such an enjoyable experience. I had to really think to properly do the battles, and it's just glorious. I would highly recommend XCOM to anyone who hasn't played it, because my god, it is really fantastic. Is it my turn up? Oh yeah, it is my turn. Let me just do a quick turn. You know, what's the point of live commentating choices if we're not going to do anything? Spoiler, by the way, this is the very final mission and final boss fight. Probably should have mentioned that. Rage, choose your best clips ever. You'll have no context what's going on, so it won't actually matter. Don't worry about it. But yes, I would recommend playing it even if you have just a minor interest in strategy squad-based games, because I loved it. The base side of things, upgrading, I mean, you can watch the Rage perspective. I've done Rage perspectives for most of the games on this list, and yes, it's glorious, it really is. But the reason it's in Tier 3 is the one crippling feature is once I completed it once, I had no need to play it again. I just didn't want to. I'm not one of those people who's like, now I'm going to do it again, but on a harder difficulty. Yay! Badass! I just didn't feel the need to. I really didn't. By the way, plasma rocket launcher, for everyone who's not got it, best thing in the fucking game. Here we go. Whoa, 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 bitches! And then I can just do it again next turn. But yes, it's just a fantastic strategy game. I wonder if I can go win, actually. Let me see if I can, let's run and gun. Okay, I'm gonna run and gun. I'm gonna go right next to the enemy, let me go. Why can't I go? Move me. Move me, you fool! I can go all the way over there, so why is it not letting me? Am I missing? No, I want to... Oh, is it right click? Like, it's been that long since I've played this game. My god. Okay. And then rapid fire. And then, which one is it? No, it's this one that I want. No, this one. No, this one. Okay. Boom! 13 critical. Do it again. Literally just one. Fantastic. But yes, I'm going to stop rapidly before you see the ending cutscene. XCOM, fantastic. You should try it. Next game in Tier 4. Here we go. Right, it's that time again to order the games in a tier. Alright, this one is very easy to me, honestly. It goes the following. I'm not going to mess around, not going to beat around that bush. Ironically doing it right now. Borderlands 2 is number 1, followed by XCOM Enemy Unknown, followed by Risen 2, followed by Orcs Must Die 2. Did not fucking mess around there, did I? Reason being is Borderlands 2 is the game I'd most like to play a game. It was incredibly fun. XCOM, I just got so much enjoyment and, you know, really had to think. It's definitely number 2. Risen 2 is free because it's a Pradabytes RPG. I could never put it last. If anything, I just don't have it in me to do it. And Orcs Must Die 2 because, while, you know, awesome fun, it ended quickly and it's a very shallow game, I have to say. Alright, that was rather speedy. Okay, on to Tier 2. We're getting good now. Basically, Tier 2 and Tier 1 are all fantastic games. I just had to make that little difference in quality to get a ultimate tier. Okay, Tier 3. Here we go. Tier 2 even. The first game in Tier 2 is... Chivalry is first up to the plate. What can I say about this game? You guys have watched the videos. It's just hilarious. This game is fantastic. If you and your group of friends have not jumped in this game and beat the crap out of each other with swords, axes, polearms, and your fists, you have severely been missing out on one of the funnest things you can do. Oh my god, Chivalry is just, well, hilarious. It really just is that. It's... oh, fun. Oh my god, fun. I don't need to explain to you why chivalry is chivalry. It's because we say, do you want to play Chiv when we ask each other, so that's... Anyway, yes, Chivalry. Oh, Chivalry. I don't need to explain why it's here. Moving on. Now, this is a surprising one, most probably, but yes, Worms Revolution. Again, it's just like Chivalry, but, you know, for slightly different reasons, just hilarious fun with your friends. Don't ever play Worms alone, that's just a sign of utter sadness. Much like going to the cinema, Gaily. Fantastic. But yes, Worms Revolution is phenomenal. And for those of you wondering, I still do plan on doing another tournament. It's just timings and everything with Hollow working, and it will happen at some point, okay? Believe! But I don't need to explain to you why this game is here. It's so much fun. The series was fantastic to do, and we still love playing Worms quite frequently. It's just a great game, and to me, the best Worms ever made, and I do not say that lightly. I will miss you, Armageddon 2. But yes, Revolution is fantastic. You guys had to see this one coming. The only question was whether it would be Tier 1 or Tier 2. The Walking Dead. This was one of my best game experiences all year, and I say that emphasis on experience. A lot less game going on here, and a lot more experience. The only game I can remember playing in a long while where I've genuinely cared about the characters. It was a phenomenal roller coaster ride to go on. I realise I made fun of it most of the time, but truly, I did love that game. It was a great story worthy of the comic and the TV show, and it's a fantastic game, incredibly well made. Telltale did a fantastic job with it, and I really loved it. You could tell from my Let's Plays. I think the Walking Dead Let's Play is the best Let's Play I've ever done, and I just love doing it. You guys love watching it, and it really does deserve to be Tier 2. The only reason it is not Tier 1, because I initially did put it on Tier 1, but thinking about it, the only reason it's not on Tier 1 is because at the end of the day, your decisions don't actually matter. The ending is the ending. If there was alternate endings depending on how you acted, this would be Tier 1 in a heartbeat. But yes, firmly in Tier 2, it's a great game, and if you haven't played it, you're crazy. Alright, moving on. And fourth in the Tier 2 category is Dishonored. This was another game that completely blindsided me. I hadn't heard about it, I hadn't seen it. It came out and people were like, yeah, you should try Dishonored, so I got it. It was the same time as XCOM, actually, and I was blown away. I haven't played a properly good stealth assassin type game in forever, and it was brilliant. I spent fuck off, stupid outsider. No one likes your shitty face. But yes, it's thanks thanks tip menu for killing me there. That was fantastic of you. Brilliant. But yes, it's It's brilliant, and if you haven't played Dishonored, it's another. In fact, every game. Why am I so bad randomly? This is my second playthrough, by the way. I played it completely through, completely unlethally. Did not kill a single person my entire playthrough, and that was actually a really satisfying way to play. I played it through again in a lethal manner, and this is my third playthrough, and I don't really know where I was going with this one. I just wanted to keep playing because it's so satisfyingly fun. You can really think about how you want to approach each mission and, you know, properly go for it, and it's great. It really is great. I'm sure you've all played or heard of Dishonored by now. I don't really need to go on, and it definitely deserves a place in Tier 2. Yes, indeed. Alright, the final game in Tier 2. Here we go. Finally, we have Far Cry 3. This game is phenomenal. I love the first Far Cry, I love the second Far Cry, and I loved the third Far Cry. The third Far Cry is by far the best. This game is freaking glorious. You can play it like a ninja, ghosting through camps, destroying people. You can play it run and gun. You can do whatever the hell you like. You can explore the beautiful, majestic islands. It's some of the best graphics I've seen in a long while, and it's just, you are free, basically. You are free to do whatever the hell you want. The crafting system is great, being able to hunt animals, use their skins to make new gear. I could not think of a single thing that I would like to complain about in this game that's anything more than a very superficial nitpick. And that is just say something in itself. In fact, the only complaint I have about this game is that it's called Far Cry 3, because it is nothing like the original Far Cry. Neither was Far Cry 2, and that was another thing. Far Cry 2 and 3 is a far cry away from the original Far Cry. Ha 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 ha! Oh, I'm hilarious. And being able to just, you know, casually fly on the second island is something that's quite amusing as well. But yes, this game is great, and if you haven't played it, you're retarded. Quite literally, it's brilliant. Play it. It really deserves to be here. So nearly made it into Tier 1, but it just cannot quite. It could be Tier 1 if for the fact that it just cannot compete with the games that are in Tier 1. So yes, Far Cry 3, ladies and gentlemen, it's the shiz. Play it now. Okay, that is it for Tier 2, actually, so we will go on to the ordering them in the best. Can you guess? That is the question. By the way, my guns are a awesomely modified bow, a special super pistol of awesome silenceness, a special super SMG of awesome silenceness, and of course the flamethrower! Okay, moving on to the order of Tier 2. Okay, now this was by far the hardest of all the tiers for me to put in a order, and honestly, I went back and forth debating with this one for so long, it's not even funny. Do you see me laughing? No. Oh, damn it, I just completely ruined the point I was making. Okay, so, oh god, I hate this one. Alright. Which one would I play if I could not play all others? You know, I'm going to have to go with Far Cry 3 first. Definitely, I think this one deserves to be, just as its merit as a fantastic game. Far Cry 3 number 1, followed by Chivalry at number 2, because it's just too much fun, followed by Worms Revolution. You know, Chivalry and Worms Revolution are pretty much the same deal in that it's just great fun, playing with friends, but I have to say Chivalry is slightly more fun, just because of the nature of the game. So yes, Far Cry 3, Chivalry, Worms Revolution, then Dishonored, then Walking Dead. The reason being, by far Walking Dead is not the weakest of these games, it's just that once you play it once, you know the story, why would you play it again? So that is why it is 5th. But yes, they are all, that list could easily be shifted around, but you know, off the top of my head, that's definitely how it should go. All of them fantastic games in their own right. Okay guys, here we are, we're on to the God tier, the Tier 1, the best of the best that I have indulged in all year. There are only 3 games in this list. Can you guess what they are? That is the question. Moving on to the first game. Here we go. Oh yes, surely you could have seen this coming. Easy to guess. No points for predicting this one. DayZ. My god, this game. This is the only game on this entire list that I can truly say every single moment I have spent in this game has been gloriously fun. even when I'm being killed and I'm like, oh, it's still, at the back of my mind, it's still fun. It made me angry at the time, but this game is brilliant. It is the first of its kind to do anything like it. It started off as being terrifying because the zombies were real. I'll be honest, we were all quite scared when we first started playing, and then it progressed into just this epic game of survival against your other survivors on this brutal island where literally the strongest survive, and I loved the entire thing. Everyone I played it with loved it. It was a glorious, glorious few months this year where we all played DayZ, and I just, all the memories, the stories, everything. A game so good that you can tell stories about what happened to people who don't play games and they still find it engaging. That is what DayZ is. If you missed playing it, then I'm sad for you, basically. It's a fantastic time in gaming, and I cannot wait for it to go standalone so I can play it again and just get back and have that feeling again. It's magnificent, and it completely deserves its place in Tier 1 this year. It's definitely one of my strongest memories ever in my entire life of gaming has been in DayZ, and it's just phenomenal. I do plan on resuming DayZ episodes as soon as it goes standalone. We just don't play at the moment, but oh my god, this game, phenomenal, it really is. Moving on to the next game. Guild Wars 2. You saw this was even more predictable than DayZ. A amazing MMO. I consider it the best MMO ever created on a fundamental level. Mechanically, it was just flawless. Obviously, every MMO has people bitching about it, but you don't really need to care about the people who bitch because everyone likes a good bitch. But the graphic style was the best I've seen. The moves were all great. The combat system, I loved it. It was fantastic. Everything about the game was great. The month and a bit we spent playing this, where I would just literally play it in every bit of free time I could muster, leveling, PvPing, crafting, doing everything the game had to offer, soaking it all up, doing the whole world to 100% completion, getting every single second of enjoyment out of this game that I could. It was a glorious, glorious time. Now, the only negative about Guild Wars 2 that I have, the only thing I can think of that I did not enjoy about the whole experience, is that it ended. And that's a weird thing to say, because you don't expect an MMO to end, at least not after a month. I got to a point where I'd literally done everything, and that's something you shouldn't be able to say about an MMO. I'd done the world, I'd got really high in PvP, I'd done all the crafting, I'd done all the dungeons, I had gear cap. There was nothing left. The only thing I wanted in that game was a ranked PvP system that I could work on with a team and get really good at, and it just wasn't there, and it's still not there. I just wish... that's the best way of saying it. Everything that was in Guild Wars 2 was fantastic. My problem with it was what was not in Guild Wars 2, but that does not take away from the fact it was the most enjoyable MMO time I've ever had, and I just loved it. So it definitely needs a place in Tier 1. Right, moving on to the final game in Tier 1. Yes, there is only 3 games in Tier 1. No prizes for also guessing what this one is going to be, although it might shock a few of you, because I'm taking a little bit of a liberty with this next one. But here we go. Finally, we have Dota 2. Now, I know what you're saying instantly. Technically, I started playing this game a month before the start of 2012. However, it's still in beta. It's not technically released, and I don't care. I'm taking liberties with this one because it bloody deserves to be here. Any game out of all others, this is the one. If you said to me, for the rest of your life right now, you could only choose one game out of any game ever that you were allowed to play, I would choose Dota 2 without even thinking about it. This game is magnificent. It's the most fun in competitive gaming I've ever had. I have played 720 hours of Dota 2, and it still feels like I got the game yesterday. I don't see myself ever getting bored of it. It's just amazing. Enough of you play games like LOL Hon to know what I'm talking about, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm not going to get into that argument, but Dota 2 is just the king, emperor, supreme ruler of them all. The art style is just gorgeous, the gameplay is so just fluid and great. The little details that Valve have put into the game, from the voice work to the armor to everything that is going on from the ground up, it is the richest that type of game experience I've ever had, and the whole thing is just a pleasure to play. There's not a day goes by where Dota is not played by me and Hollow. It's just phenomenal, and I do want to continue doing Dota series. There's just been a little sort of bump in the road at the moment because we've not been playing that many League games, which is what I want to show you, but don't worry, I will sort that out. But yes, Dota 2, this year I have put about 600 hours into it, not counting the 100 I put in the end of last year. And it deserves to be here. The game that this officially releases, you can be sure it's going to be #1 on that year's list as well, but it definitely needs mentioning because it's my best game ever. It really is. This is a joint first with Gothic 3. My best multiplayer game ever, Dota 2. My best single player game ever, Gothic 3. That is how it is, and it needs to be here. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, my free games in Tier 1. Now, to order them. Now this is where you might not be able to guess, but let's see. Moving on. Now then, how to order these in a 1 to 3. Now, actually, this was easier to do than you may have thought. Obviously, from how I described Dota, Dota 2 is #1, let's get that out of the way. But the question remains to me, DayZ or Guild Wars 2 #2? This is where I had the massive stumbling block, because I just don't know. If Guild Wars 2 had the extra content that I wanted to, there'd be no question. But I bet when DayZ's standalone, that would also be no question in DayZ's favour. I have to base this on, if you could only play one or the other, which one would you choose? And I honestly... this could easily be switched round, but for the sake of this, I'm going to say DayZ #2, because honestly, minute for minute fun, the fun to time ratio was higher in that game than Guild Wars 2, but that's simply due to Guild Wars 2 being an MMO, and you can't have as much fun hour to hour, because I mean, obviously I spent more time in Guild Wars 2, but yes, Dota 2, then DayZ, then Guild Wars 2. But don't get me wrong, all three of these games are phenomenal, and they could really be in any order except Dota 2 being #1. Why did I laugh at that? That makes no sense. But holy hell, this video has gone on way too long, Jesus Christ. My convoluted, complicated system of showing you what I enjoyed the most this year. Oh my god, there are quite a few games I've played this year that have not made the lists. You might be able to think of quite a few of them. But yes, that is, everything is here. I'm happy with what I have put in and what I have selected, so yes, let me know what you guys thought about this list. Did you manage to guess many of them? Did you disagree with any of them? I would genuinely like to know your opinions. I love reading the comments on these types of videos. My name has been Rage. I am going to end this before my voice dies a horrible death, and before you all get bored to tears. That would be such a weird thing. You're just like, I'm so bored, I'm just crying! Imagine that. That would never happen. I hate that expression now. Oh, there we have it. My name has been Rage. Please remember to like, favourite, and share. I will see you all next year for the same video. Woo! Oh my god. And goodbye.